Well, when the system is meant to protect, it fails you, right? The cost is measured in shattered trust, stolen lives, and a lingering question: could this have been prevented? Today, we're taking you inside three very different but deeply connected stories: a legal system that is punishing survivors instead of protecting them, a stalking case that ended horrifically in a triple tragedy, and in Alabama, where a bunker where children were hidden, abused, and trafficked, often by those who should have been the people that they trusted the most. So each of these cases exposes the cracks in the system, in how we should be protecting people, and each calls for action. This is Through the Eyes of Survivors Uncensored. So let's let her rip.
Important notice: the following content may be triggering. Viewer discretion is advised. All discussions are based on personal opinions and experiences. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to a local support organization. Important notice: the following content may be triggering. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, well, we're back here at Through the Eyes of Survivors Uncensored. I have the wonderful Amanda with me. She's our Director of Operations here at Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence. And if you haven't met me, I'm Tara Woodlee. I'm the President and CEO. Before we get into our topics, I got to plug our great affiliates for this program. We're going to take a moment to talk about Truth Finder. It's a simple tool that helps you uncover public records and background information about people you may encounter in your life. Whether you're reconnecting with someone from your past or just want to ensure the people around you are trustworthy, Truth Finder provides you with the information you need to make informed decisions. Here at Through the Eyes of Survivors, we're all about creating safe spaces and giving survivors the tools they need to reclaim their power. So we're excited to share with you Truth Finder today. It's a tool that definitely helps you take control of your security and peace of mind. To try it out, and support our podcast, please visit the link in the description and comments. And we thank you for supporting our mission. Again, Opus Clips. Opus Clips is an AI driven platform that helps turn podcasts like ours into short, impactful clips from survivor stories to hard truths. Opus Clips help amplify voices and spread awareness across every platform. And you can try Opus Clip through our affiliate link also provided. And our last affiliate is the Self Defense Keychain Store. I'm getting a little tongue tied today. We're proud that we're partnering with the Self Defense Keychain Store for sure. Um, it is a woman owned business committed to empowering individuals with practical, discreet, and stylish self defense tools. By shopping through our affiliate link, you're not only investing in your personal safety, but you're also supporting our mission here to raise awareness for domestic violence. So use the code Break the Silence for 10% off. So we thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, I'm glad to see you here again, Amanda, in another episode of Uncensored.
Thank you for having me, Tara.
So let's get into our first case. Today we're going to be talking about in the news the New York State Court blocking CPS in domestic violence cases. So it's very trouble. It's a troubling, definitely legal trend that is leaving survivors feeling like they're double abused. So, Amanda, why don't you tell us some of the cases that have sparked this controversy?
Yes, so there was a case where there was a mother who basically was assaulted in front of her 14-month year old child. A neighbor called on 911 saying that the father was holding a weapon. An order was filed from protection and to make sure that there were supervised visits. Um, the child protection services in that area wanted to make sure that they could do unannounced visits to the mother to make sure that the father was obeying the protective order. Um, and it seemed that there was, that was something that was being fought in the courts that they believe that, was not needed. And some people, again, as you said, Tara, feel some different way about this case, not this case, but this law as well, of what they're doing in the courts with this, because some people feel that this is very much needed um, to protect children in domestic violence cases, but then some of the survivors are feeling that they're being re-victimized because, again, unprompted visits, looking through your home, making sure you're a good, what you feel is like being monitored as a good mother, as when it's more so a fact of they're trying to make sure that the perpetrator is not coming back into the house. That does happen, as we see in domestic violence cases. Um, but this was one of
So,
the,
like to
the
be clear,
cases
yeah,
that they brought to light in one of the.
yeah. So sorry, there's a lag. Um, so to be
Yeah,
clear,
there's a little.
they are actually what they did was he was the aggressor, he was the abuser, he had charges, but CPS was investigating her as to whether or not he was back in the home and wanted to do monitored visitation.
Yes.
Right. That is astounding.
Yeah.
That is just
They wanted to make sure that she was not. Yeah, they wanted to make sure she was not violating the PFA order and letting him back in. So basically, they were holding her accountable more than it seemed him. And some people believe that because of the rates of women going back and how many times it takes for these men to then going back in, and some people have opinions that this is needed, that it has to be controlled. As a survivor, I hold a whole different kind of opinion, but I mean, this is something that I can tell you, Tara, is very controversial on both sides. For the protection of children, and that is very much needed in domestic violence, but it's also making sure that the victim, as you said, is not being re-victimized, especially as a parent.
Well, yeah, because as an advocate, and I'm sure what I read from the articles, the advocates out there are warning that this is a huge overreach, and they're warning that it will re-traumatize victims out there to have survivors get oversight, um, even after they have been kicked out. So, where is the system really hoping? I don't understand that. And please share your comments and your thoughts on this because we'd love to hear that from y'all. Um, you know, my question is, how will this affect the welfare system too, especially for you know marginalized races? This is gonna, to me, it looks like it will disproportionately target some of these children in the welfare system.
Oh yeah,
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 is
I agree, and I think it would even re-traumatize children.
right, because instead of putting up the judgments and putting the perpetrators into jail like they should, you're going to put them on probation and then constantly monitor the survivor for oversight and for judgment and for fear of they may lose their children.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you've let this offender back on the street where he can continue to try to contact her, victimize her, potentially attack her, or worse, and not supervise him. I or her, it'll go either way. But where is the justice in that? I don't understand that. This
Well,
this
and that's
blows my mind.
this infuriates, and it is because again, um, this is why people like she got a PFA. She was doing what she was supposed to be doing, and then they're like, "Well, since you had this PFA, we want to make sure that you're honoring this PFA." This is going to make women not want to do the right thing. This is going to make women not want to leave if they feel, because this is a big, I'm going to be honest with you, that my abuser used, I'm going to tell CYS if you leave me that you did. And that was a big manipulation factor. So if you are actually experiencing that in the court systems after your abuser held that over your head for years, you're going to cave. You're not going to be able to do what you're supposed to do right by you or your children. And this is more harmful than helpful. I mean, I know there's different cases where both the parents are abusers. There's, a lot of unhealthy stuff going on. I know it's all varied by cases, but there's mothers out there that just simply don't have the resources or the support to leave, and they should not have their children taken from them. Said, provide them the support. Take him to jail. Do something to get her away. Stop making it, the victim be re-victimized. I'm sorry. That's insane to me.
Yeah,
Insane.
yeah. Well, you made a good point. Why would you go get a protective order or whatever in your particular area they call it? Because I know they call it in different things in different places. But why would you go get one if you're the person they're going to monitor? If you're the person under scrutiny with one, instead of monitoring them? Because I know for a fact, because I've been on the receiving end of it, and so was my daughter. Every time we reported them for violating the protective order, they didn't do squat. But you have a protective order and they're going to monitor you to be sure you're not bringing that person back in. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That this is a serious,
So
serious
basically, we're
issue.
just saying we don't trust them.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just
this
that
this
simple.
is a serious problem, definitely. So to me, it's going to make it so more people don't report, because that's part of the reason I didn't back in the day report, was for fear of what it would bring to my children. Could I protect them?
Yeah.
that sometimes people think they're doing really good with some of the things that they do, and they open up a whole other can of worms that they didn't even think of. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's happening here with this court. So let's look at some of the comments, because yeah, we started to get some comments in here.
Yes. I saw you have to go in.
Okay, so let's see. I am not sure how to say your name. Um, I don't want to butcher it. So, but you have a beautiful profile. And she said, in alcoholic's abusive marriage, he has name called me, emotionally neglected me for years, trying to let go feels hard because I still remember the man he once was, and I miss that and still love that part of him. Well, of course you do. Of course you do, because I was in that same position. Amanda will tell you she was in the same position. The thing is we were sold a bill of goods. That's a part of the problem. The marriage, when you have marriages like that, you really don't know what you married. And I know for me especially, I always felt like, oh yeah, I felt like, oh yeah, I knew the real him. I just got to get that person back. It took me quite a long time to figure out, no, this is the real him. This is the true colors. I am never going to see that person because that was a facade. So I feel for you because we go through that, don't we, Amanda?
Yeah, I promise you that is a normal feeling. That's one of the feelings that I'm going to be honest with you, um, kept me stuck for years and made me feel shameful, because I lived with a person who had really high highs and really low lows. And it's really hard when those high highs are really good and they're real to you. So don't feel bad for that. That's definitely something, as Tara said, we just have to learn that we didn't know that who they were and that wasn't real.
And Pillar of Light, they're back from the UK. We're glad to see you. Said yes, it's a serious problem. It
Yeah, thank
appears
you.
the victim survivors are punished for making disclosures and reporting their abuse. Exactly. Let's see. Jim, it's appalling. Where is the protection we owe these victims? Where is the justice in a nation that proclaims to be just? Write your congressmen and senators demanding justice now. Let's see. And Brandy, I say much stronger than I should have to protect my kids. This is only hurting them more. Absolutely. I agree. Let's see. Again, Pillar of Light. It was a barrier to me reporting, and I worked in children's safeguarding, but he, is that right? Am I reading it right? Is a serving police officer. Yes. Ooh, that makes it even harder when you have uh, your abuser working in services that are supposed to be helping protect you too. That's a whole other segment right there. That is for sure. Let's see. And she also added, it was 18 years in before I realized I didn't know who he was. I was the mother of his children, and I asked him, "Who are you?" Yeah, they definitely hide that really well. So, yeah, I would, especially if you live in New York, I would definitely be raising my voice and sharing some awareness on that, because uh, the people in your community up there deserve better. That is for sure. That one we can't let that keep going, because that is going to cause more harm than good. So, definitely, I would be contacting, like Jim said, some of those senators and congressmen up there in New York and making them aware it's happening in the courts up there. So absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break in between this segment into the next one. Definitely stay. We're just going to play a quick promotion about our store that you can shop online with us and support us for BTSADV and check out our mission. And we're gear. Amanda and we're matching today. We didn't plan on it, but we did. But definitely check out our store. Amanda, go ahead.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Through the Eyes of Survivors. We wanted to pause for a moment and let you know that Through the Eyes of Survivors has a shop now open. And this is a great way for you to not only help survivors of domestic violence, but also let everyone know that you will not be silent about this important cause. From t-shirts to bags to coffee mugs, we have so much to choose from. To grab your swag, head to our store at breakthesilencedv.org. That's store.breakthesilencedv.org. We can't say enough about how much we appreciate all that the community does to help support us and this organization. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode and continue to subscribe to future episodes. Thank you. We hope you're enjoying.
And we're back, and we're still hoping you're enjoying. So here at our next segment, and where our next story is out of New Jersey, and it's one about definitely that it broke my heart because I saw the video clip with the young woman's sister talking on the news, just bawling, and it made me bawl too. So this woman had been stalked, and the system just failed her. Just failed to intervene in it all. So, Dr. Lauren, I hope I'm saying her last name right. Um, Sem- Semanchik, is that right? Semanchik was she's a 33-year-old veterinarian, and she was very loved by her community, as many of you can imagine. I love my veterinarian, have a long-term relationship with them, so she had a lot of people who loved her. But after she broke up with a police officer in New Jersey, New Jersey State Police Sergeant uh, Ricardo Santos, her life became a series of escalating threats. He keyed her car. What was it? Amanda, he had listening devices in her home, right? And just would not quit contacting her, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. He put water in her gas tank. Um, there's even a text message that she warned, "I feel threatened," in all caps, as a single small female. She was scared. She was scared.
She was absolutely scared. And on August 1st, neighbors heard her scream, and then they heard shots, and the police came, but they didn't go inside. And the next day, her family found her and her boyfriend, uh, Tyler Webb, and they were dead in the home. And then hours later, Santos was found dead from a self inflicted wound. So the system really failed her. Like I said, I saw her sister crying, just broke my heart because our family has been there. Um, with how much he had stalked her. They had been pleading and begging for help, and no help came. So this is just tragic.
Yeah, to me, the fact that she was scared and there was no one taking her seriously, and she lost her life in this. That tears the core of me. All of us domestic violence, and I'm not discrediting anybody's story or survival, but we all know when it's to that point where you're fearing for your life. And when she is openly just, I mean, obviously reaching for people to help her, and she was failed. She's failed. I mean, her boyfriend, they were young. I mean, she was in her early 30s, a doctor, a veterinarian, and her boyfriend was 29 years old. They had a future together. They had a life together, and because of someone, as we just spoke about, he is a sergeant. A sergeant who was supposed to serve and protect, couldn't get past whatever obsession or he was feeling. Two lives are gone. Two lives are gone. And
Well,
to
three,
me,
three. He
this
took
is
his
so.
own. It's so.
He took his life. Okay, what?
Mhm. Yeah, three lives
And
were
to
gone
me,
because the
Tara,
system didn't intervene.
and this is more common, guys. Like, and this is what's bothering me is because me and Tara know we seek out these articles, we study them, and that's why I'm getting emotional right now because this is always an article. There's always an article about this.
Mhm.
Always.
Well, it brings up a good topic of conversation in two different ways here. Number one, of course, how many times do you have to ask for help from the police before they pay attention? But a deeper, even further one is, what if it is someone who's in that community? And how do you handle that? Because we hear these stories all the time, Amanda. We've known people all over the place that the they overlook it because the perpetrator is one of their own in that particular community, and he has, or she even, they have medals, they have honors that they've earned. They've helped, possibly even hundreds of people in their community, and they don't see the uh, mask of what is going on behind closed doors in their relationships, who that person really is. So it's hard for a community to fathom.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Right. And I've even seen people with the mentality as if this person's not harming me or my family. And I've been told this as a survivor, so I'm speaking from a personal level. If this person never harmed me and my family, that's your issue. I'm still good with them. And it's just, to me, if we continue to let people say, well, they can hurt you, but as long as they know this is a crisis, that if they're hurting someone else, this will ripple on you, regardless of whether you think it or not. It just doesn't stay in the homes. We need to be more, understanding that this isn't just an inside kind of, crime it's not. It ripples.
Yeah.
It's a ripple effect.
Yes, absolutely. So there
Some
has got to be
comments,
a better.
Tara.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of comments. There's definitely got to be a better standard when we have first responders or police officers who are involved in these kind of um, accusations. And the other thing that happened here that astounded me was nobody, they went to check and nobody answered, so they did nothing. They did nothing. But yet she reported so many times. That's quite
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. So let's go to some of the comments. Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming in. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Crystal. Sarah, we
we
haven't
love that.
seen you in a long time. Miss you too, Crystal. Let's see.
Hi, Crystal.
Let's see. We have Dawn in here. I'm trying to navigate these comments. Vicky, yes. Vicky's in here. Oh, thank you, Crystal. She said we look beautiful. Thank you. And people do suck. Here,
Oh, thank
Dawn.
you.
Dawn. I actually had an abuser walk up to the front door of a shelter and get me removed with my children. Oh my goodness, Dawn. I am so sorry. So sorry that happened to you.
I
Um,
am so sorry. That is mortifying.
yes, let's see. Pillar of Light. Police do not understand stalking. Despite having dedicated stalking teams here in the UK, they fail to see that risk is dynamic, not static, and can change at any moment. Yes, in our last podcast that we did, we had Michael. I'm sorry, I can't. His last name is totally jumping out of my head. Amanda. Um, was it Grutch? Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
that's
Grudge. You are
yes.
right.
Thank you. I'm not as old as I feel sometimes. He was astounding. If you haven't watched that one, go back over there because he was talking about um, the serial abuser, right? And that how stalking escalates things. We talked about that some. That the system fails to recognize that when you have stalking involved, you're at a way, way, way higher risk of homicide, and the police are just not they're not recognizing that at all. So it's something in our system that we definitely need corrected. Mm. So,
Yes.
oh, let's see. Dawn also says, I've had the police called here where I am and nothing. He was drunk and literally assaulted me, but for the second time attempted to self harm. He was admitted for help and I was sent to counseling and he was let back home. Mm. Dawn, I'm sorry you've had to go through so much. My
I am.
goodness. Uh, Jim? The system fails so many in domestic violence cases. I know it failed our daughter. Yes, it did, Jim. The system is designed to protect, but has too many restrictions. I would do things differently knowing what I know now, but you can't go back. Best advice, use the system where it is helpful, and when it is not, do what it to takes to be, I guess, sure. I'm just saying, do what it takes to be sure it is going to be helpful. Yeah. Mm. Don said everything is in my name, mortgage, utilities. Good. That's good. Definitely. Pillar of Light said she was stalked prior and during love bombing phase. You were definitely not the only one.
Oh,
And yeah, what other comments do we have here? A lot of you are chatting with each other. I love to see that. That is great. So, um, yeah,
yes, that's awesome.
definitely. We definitely promote y'all being a community in here. We are definitely a community of survivors working together. So,
Yeah, we love to see that, guys. Seriously.
yes,
That's why we're here.
absolutely. So that's great. The system is definitely failing. Absolutely. So, is there anything else you wanted to like include on this particular case, Amanda?
No, I mean, just condolences to her family and friends. I can't imagine, honestly, how they're feeling, especially when this could have been prevented and they knew that she was scared and there wasn't enough done. Um, that's
Yes,
what hurts. The people
absolutely. Because yeah,
that are left behind.
her
Yeah.
family is put in the most difficult of positions now, and there's an innocent there. I mean, her boyfriend, you know, uh, hit him going as well. I mean, that's part of the
Yes.
dangers, unfortunately, because a lot of people think that they get into a new relationship and that ex will just kind of disappear. And in some cases that happens, but a lot of times the stalking, the harassment, and everything continues even with you being in a new relationship. So there's no guarantees. I know of a case that someone I had known who he had been in prison even for 10 years, and she had married, gotten other kids and stuff, and when he came out, it was full force on. So it doesn't matter how long it's been. There's always that background of, you know, in your heart that you're always going to be some sort of looking over your shoulder in some way. It's unfortunate we have to live like that. It really is. So protect yourselves. Absolutely. Even if you're out of it and in a good place, protect yourselves. But don't live in fear forever, because then they win.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let my ex win on that level, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, sorry to get so serious with you guys. We're gonna take another little break real quick. What we want to do is we are fixing to have a virtual retreat here in what, 2 weeks, Amanda?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So for survivors, healing is definitely not just about your safety. It's about restoring your lives, right? So that's why we're excited to let you know about our upcoming Rest and Restore virtual somatic healing retreat and fundraiser. It's August 22nd and 23rd. And Amanda's going to play a quick promotional clip for the retreat, and we'll be right back to talk about our last news article.
Are you feeling completely drained? So tired of being on all the time, of constantly pushing through? That exhaustion is more than mental. Your body is holding on to stress as deep physical tension. It's time to give yourself permission to let go. Join our Rest and Restore virtual somatic healing retreat August 22nd and 23rd. Through guided breathwork, meditation, and EFT tapping, you'll learn to release what no longer serves you, all from the comfort of your home. As you heal, you'll also raise crucial funds for Break the Silence, supporting vital programs for domestic violence survivors. Find the details at the link in our bio. It's time to stop performing rest and start to truly restore your mind, body, and spirit. Are you feeling completely drained, so tired of being...
And we're back. So definitely check that out. The links are going to be in the description and in the comments. It's a weekend where you will experience help to release your trauma that you have stored in your body, right? Through breath work, like they were saying, meditation, journaling prompts, all from the comfort of your home. And you're also going to learn about the 12 principles of growth, which our girl is Leah, right? Who's doing this. She's phenomenal. So it's woven into every session, and it will be restorative for you and life changing. So, and you can help support our when you register, you're helping to support our programs here at Break the Silence. So thank you, and let's get on to our last segment. So this one has been in the news cycle since February, but it's back up again because they have arrested and charged one new person in this case. So we're going to be talking about, this is probably one of the most disturbing cases that we've ever covered. It's one of the ones that kind of haunts me when I read it. It's in Bibb County, Alabama, where the law enforcement had uncovered that underground bunker where there were at least 10 children from the ages of 3 to 15 that were imprisoned, abused, and trafficked. So if you hadn't heard about it, that's what was going on. Like I said, this happened back in February, but charges that have come down, and they have charged one more person now in this. It's up to 8 people that were in this ring. Um, of course, it's they charged them with trafficking and kidnapping and torture, um, even animal cruelty and bestiality, and of course the we're going to I can't say this word because the social media guys won't let me. We'll say unconsensual sex with minors is how we'll put it, but we know what I mean. Um, of these children. So, and some of these perpetrators were family members. So, this is like really sick because it's the worst form of child abuse from people who these children trusted. So, Amanda, you want to give some more details on what was going on with that case?
Yes, basically, as you just said, Tara, this is such a hard case to even talk about because of the nature. And so basically, again, another person was charged in this. As you said, there was 8 people charged. Um, the one thing that really kind of stood out to me is they're saying that there was some gang ties to this, as well as domestic violence and organized crimes that was involved with how this was all playing out. Of how, and that, I'm going to be honest, that blew my mind. Because I never would have put, like, you always think those are separated, right? You always think, well, that's a different crime. That's a different, to believe that this is this is like what's going on, from kidnapping to uh, just things that are happening from these children supposedly being drugged to all these kind of control tactics to manipulation to, I just can't. And then it's underground and it was hidden. Like, this is stuff we want to pretend that's not even real. As a
Right.
mother, I want to be like, oh, that doesn't, and to even,
Yeah, they're calling it a bunker, but if you've seen the pictures and stuff, it's a storm shelter underground. It was just
it
disgusting.
is. It is. It looks like one of those things that they would make back in the 1960s. Remember, where they if you had to, like, go under for like safety purposes, not to live. This is obviously showing that they were hiding them. That some of these children were being kidnapped. And I I mean, even as you said, this is generations of families doing this too. Like, this is not just kids getting kidnapped off the street. It's people they trusted, family members, friends of families, like, people that these children were born into and were made to believe were safe people. And that's what makes me sick, because children do not get to pick their parents. They don't get to pick their parents' associations. They don't get to pick their grandparents. As adults, that is our job to make sure that we're making safe decisions for the children around us. And if we find out that they're being harmed, then that's our job to make sure that they're no longer going to be harmed by these people. As a parent, I cannot fathom being just like, yeah, let's just keep all doing this and run it as a circle of members and known people. That's just, I'm sorry, that's just taking me off.
Part of what I read with this case too was evidently there was a teacher who had been for a year raising concerns about one of the children was her student, and nobody would listen to her. So this could have been caught a whole lot sooner if the community would have listened to this teacher. And that
It's
to me is
ridiculous.
horrifying because the teachers are trained. And when you finally have a good teacher who is using their training and trying to get help, they are ignored. So it's very concerning.
Right. Well, and teachers, again, they're with your children every day, sometimes more than you, like during the school year, more than you are. Like, and you think about it. So they can see their behavior changes. They can see when they don't want to do certain things. So obviously, we as advocates, we want that in the schools. But it makes it so hard for them, just like us, to report if the authority is not taking this seriously, if it's being pushed off. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Hmm.
Because again, why are we teaching people and advocating and training for this if we're not going to take this seriously? And it has to be so disheartening to that teacher because she's seeing that child every day and having to let that child go back in it because there's nothing physically, legally she can do to protect that child. And she's trying. That,
Right.
that
So
I can't
this
imagine.
wasn't so to me again, and another horrifying aspect of this, because as people we want to think in certain terms, right? Because
Right.
this is very triggering, and I understand. Um, but you think when you read the headline "underground bunker" and stuff, and you see the you're thinking they're just these poor children were no, they were still attending school. They were still some of these children were still up and out in the community, and this is still happening. And some of the children are even helping to recruit and bring in the other children under duress because what can they do? And this is their parents, their family members who are promoting this. These children are going to have a long, hard recovery. I feel my heart just breaks for them
I
because the police said that they were charging like 1,000 per night for these children, and Homeland Security is saying that they are investigating it, um, to the point of that there will be more arrests and more victims coming forward in the future. That they anticipate that. So this was a big bust, and hopefully they will catch everyone involved.
Yes, I agree because this to me. I just again, this is the news stories we don't want to be real. These are the things that we want to think is in this. To me, yeah, I can't fathom it. I just can't. It is gross. I think we have some other comments, Tara. We are getting them in.
Okay, let's look at our comments. All right. Ooh, they are definitely coming in. Let's see here. Oh, Valerie is here. Vicky. Okay. Pillar of Light. Yeah. Animal cruelty is linked to child abuse and chronic neglect that can get missed by frontline professionals. Ultimately, these individuals have a lack of empathy. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Randy said this is horrifying. Yes, it is. I agree. It was totally horrifying when I read it before, and it's even more horrifying the more details that come out. It's sickening. Um,
It's horrible.
yes, absolutely. Let's see. Jim said there's a special place in hell for men like this. No mercy should be shown for anyone involved, no matter what their involvement was. There were women, mothers involved with this too, Jim. This wasn't just men. I want to say out of the
No,
eight, there were like three
so
women,
good.
right? Yeah, which I can't
Right? The newly charged was a woman. That newly charged was a woman.
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Mandatory reporting is the way to go. There must be, yeah. Yeah, and see, that teacher did report. So, yeah, if people don't listen, yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. Tara, can you talk about the retreat again? Vicky said. Sure. Amanda, do you want to give some more details about that retreat? Do you have that, or you want to look it up while I finish going through some
Yeah, I could
more
look it up and give you
details?
guys a little bit more of a better idea of what we got going on for that. So it is a virtual retreat, guys. As I'm looking this up, I do have some details that are lingering in my head. It starts June 22nd and it goes from June the 23rd. The first night it's from 7 p.m. p.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then the second day you go into from, I believe, 9 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And we do have a link in the bio that you can buy tickets. The tickets are at different tower levels of donations, but you definitely can get the same experience. Leah is amazing. She's our support line volunteer. As Tara said, she has some great things ahead of us. It's going to be some kind of tapping, which helps with anxiety. Sorry, Tara, take a moment for me to pull up.
No.
And she definitely, this is one of those things that helps kind of with your nerve system. So as we know, as survivors of domestic violence, one of the things that we have rattled and still deal with is our nerves. And so this retreat is basically supposed to help you with that as well. Just trying to be able to get yourself balanced with some breathing work. Again, this is all virtual, so you can do this from home. The proceeds come back to BTSABB, which we are very grateful for. So yeah, we definitely encourage you guys to join. All you have to do is click that link below, or in the it will be in the comments, but also in the description, and you can buy tickets. And then there will be a link, and it's on Zoom. So again, it's at the comfort of your own home. But there's just, I'm trying to pull it up, Tara, and it's taking me a minute.
Yeah. So
To
you can do it
able.
many different ways. So the Friday, there's some time on Friday evening, and then some of it is Saturday morning. So you can attend just the
Right.
Friday if you want, or just the Saturday if you want, or both. And so when you click the link and look at that, you definitely can choose from there what you want to do. And
Yes,
it's definitely it's donation based attendance, so and it gives suggested donations in there, so please definitely check that out. So
absolutely.
wonderful. And the one thing I will say that has come out of this this thing with the Alabama bunker is that I read that the Alabama lawmakers are considering expanding the death penalty to include the cases of child, we'll say molestation, but graping. That you, like I said, I hate that we're on uncensored, and I gotta censor myself, but the algorithm will get us on that word. But the lawmakers are considering death penalty for this, so I was kind of happy about that. For me, that, in my opinion, that is a
Yes,
long overdue thing. I think that they should have done a long time ago, in cases that involve our children like this. So I know Amanda agrees with that. So we'll see. We'll
I
see
do.
if Alabama can make that happen, because that, I think that would help start setting a standard. Some other states take up that mantle if Alabama will. So that would be good. So
Yes,
that's another one that you can definitely write the congressmen and state legislatures over there in Alabama and encourage them on. So, and encourage your own lawmakers in your own state, because stuff like this, yeah, it really should be death penalty cases. It really should.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
All right. So, yes, we got a lot of thank yous in here. Yes, you guys are welcome. So, is there anything you want to close out with on
I
that
know. I'm
particular
looking.
day?
You guys have been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, no, wonderful, wonderful.
No, I just again, guys. Yeah, we just again with everything that we talked about today, guys. Again, it's just the advocacy, and again with the case of the stalking, and um, again that just breaks my heart. Please know there is help out there. We do have a support line. We will put that in the. It's actually in our comments. So perfect. I just looked up and saw it. Thank you, Brandy. So with that support line, if you're ever in need. kind ear or resources, please don't hesitate to reach out. You're not alone in this, guys. If you feel threatened, if you even have the little bit of a hunch that something doesn't feel safe, please, please listen to that. You are worth all the red flags and things that you need to notice for you to be safe.
Absolutely. So please, definitely uh, share the podcast with everybody. So we're fixing to close out today's podcast, and definitely from the courtrooms of New York to these New Jersey neighborhoods and clear into Alabama, the message is the same, right? Silence costs lives. Survivors and children deserve protection that actually works. And communities need to refuse to look away at what's happening within our systems and start listening. And if you need to connect with us, we are here. Also, be sure to definitely check out that Rest and Restore virtual somatic healing retreat. Again, that's August 22nd and 23rd. The registration is open. And also, don't forget about our Survivor Choose Survivor series that is airing on Fridays now at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. That one is a nice short clip of where we as survivors answer real questions from the community out there. So if you want to send in a question and have it answered, you can do that anonymously. We'll not air who sent in what, and you can send that to us at podcast at breakthesilencedv.org. We'd love to hear your questions and answering them. But check those out. They're usually about under 10 minutes long. We answer those questions. And we'd love to encourage y'all in here to help answer those questions as well, because we're a community, and the more we can help each other, the better. Also, if you haven't checked
Absolutely.
out our new Narc Diaries series, that's over on TikTok. We do have a TikTok. Um, Check us out at BTSADV7 on TikTok. Every Wednesday and Sunday, we drop a new Narc Diaries episode. That's where we talk about the best or worst, whatever you want to call them, the most ridiculous. That's probably the best way to put it. Things our narcissists ever said to us. So definitely help us grow over there, because we would like to bring this podcast live to TikTok. So we're trying to reach 1,000 followers so we can start doing that as well. We will see you next Wednesday, of course, here for Through the Eyes of Survivors. And Amanda, do you have a sneak peek of who's coming on next week?
So actually, let me go ahead and double check what you're doing next week.
She loves when I stump her with these accents. She's like, I wasn't prepared.
And you think I would be ready by now? You think I would be ready by now?
Oh,
Actually, Tara, I think it's going to be me and you, because we did have someone reschedule with us for next week. So it might
so
be
we'll have
fun.
another
So
uncensored.
if you guys have any ideas,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, wonderful.
But
So
if you
we'll
guys
do
have any
another.
topics that you would like for me, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Even if
We
you guys
have
have
a
any
delay.
topics you want to leave with, I'm sorry, it's the delay, it's my lag. But if you guys even have any comments while I'm cutting Tara off and she's cutting me off, if you guys have anything that you want to hear me and Tara talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments or email me at podcast@btsadv.org, and we'll be more than happy, because we definitely want to touch upon what you guys want to hear as well.
Yeah. Send us a link if you see an interesting story or article or legislation that you'd like us to focus on next week. We'd love to touch on that. So we'll do another episode of Uncensored next week. So Amanda and I will be here. So thank you
We'll be
for
back.
joining us. Absolutely. And take care and definitely stay safe. And remember that you're strong enough to do this and you're not alone.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Through the Eyes of Survivors. My name is Tara Woodlee, and I am the president of Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence, an organization that gives survivors and their families, and the families that have lost loved ones to domestic violence, access to a community that understands the journey that they're facing. We hope this episode impacts you, and hopefully you want to learn more about the topic. If it is helping you in some way, let us know in the comments below. We love your feedback. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button below and the bell right next to it so that you can get notified the next time an episode premieres. We hope you will see us in the next episode, and thank you. Thank you so much for